there are a lot of energy-related issues that are coming up in the campaign now and will continue to come up through the fall, not only at the presidential level, but at the senatorial level, congressional level, and actually this goes all the way down to state legislatures. We're seeing a lot of activity at the state level now focused on energy. The reason I think they've all come together in this particular environment is because of the job creation potential. You know, in the past, we often have an energy conversation that's in a bit of a void about, well, what should the policy of the country be? But today, it's directly tied to job creation, economic recovery. I believe that's why it's so pertinent or relevant to the current dialogue. And therefore, whenever we hear about job creation, if you look at some of the platforms, some of the things the presidential candidates are talking about, it all comes back to that job creation, economic growth. So energy plays a key role in that. And I think that will continue to be the way energy is characterized as we move forward. Our hope and expectation will be that as they talk about economic growth and job creation, that it will come back to energy. If you look at the platforms, one of the key planks, for example, and what Governor Romney's talked about, is using energy as the stimulus to help our economy rebound. And all we have to do is look at situations around the country today. You look at I like to say little old North Dakota. North Dakota's not so little anymore, as we all know. The #2 oil producer in the country, the lowest unemployment rate in the country. So as we get into a debate, we would hope that the moderators and the candidates themselves would come back to the energy question and say, now, how's it relevant today to our economic recovery and job creation? Because it's a great story to tell. And in fact, much of that story has a lot to do with about what industry has done, what governors have done, what others have done, and a little less about what federal policy's been. I think there's two areas that they could really step forward and really change the course of what's been discussed in the past. The first one is opening up more access. We have been limited to, by and large, about 15% of the outer continental shelf when we look at the OCS around the country. That's all been in the Gulf of Mexico. But there's broad support today to begin looking at the South Atlantic. Let's just take Virginia, for example. You have 2 U.S. Senate Democratic members strongly supportive of looking and producing off the coast of Virginia, coupled with their Republican governor. There is political support there to begin to reach out and say, you know, there are other parts of the U.S. where we haven't been, but we could go to bring more energy online. But the second phase, the second dimension of it, Frank, I think is very important, is the regulatory regimes. You know, historically, oil and natural gas has by and large been regulated at the state level. But you look at some of our breakthrough technologies like hydraulic fracturing, horizontal drilling. There is currently an effort underway at the federal level with 10 different departments and agencies that could potentially regulate this activity. There is no need to overburden, to lay an additional level of regulation that will conflict and confuse what the states have moved quickly to address to protect the environment, protect our people.